trying to find our inner chi.
Trying to remember the Salt Lake City part.
Let's talk about New York. That's what we watched together, remember?
We did watch New York together.
It was interesting. Sorry. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Cue the Chaos.
Let's just jump right in.
We just jumped right in. I'm just like, let's get right to it.
I mean, let's get into it. Where do we start? There was so much to break down with that.
So I know that you and I, we recapped a couple episodes back about the finale, which was interesting. Mm-hmm. And Bren's kind of like reaction to everything, and Uba's reaction to everything, and everybody else's reaction to everything that happened. Mm-hmm. So I did think it was super interesting going into part one of this reunion, where it seemed like Bren was like so disconnected still. Mm-hmm. She literally hadn't even watched the finale. And they were about to go on stage in like 30 minutes.
Which is wild.
That was wild to me. Because do you know what it says to me? You're not going to be prepared with any type of response as to what you actually have to say about your behavior and what happened, right?
I mean, I guess that gives... One could look at it as that means that there was more authenticity from her responses because she didn't have the time to rehearse an answer or a read.
Well, it's not even a read, but like maybe a proper response back. Because if you're still processing it in your head, it's going to be hard for you to like give a genuine response back to what we just saw.
I don't feel like there's even any processing in her head. I think I don't know. Something about Bren is just so off to me.
Yes. Very off, right?
I just don't know. I don't know. Because it's also weird to me that, like, considering the fact you guys filmed that season so long ago and it took so long to come to air, it's like, why wouldn't you want to watch it unless you knew you were malicious and terrible and you didn't want to see yourself? Because I only don't like to watch episodes of things that I'm on if I feel like I acted a fool. So, like, I'm like, I'm dreading watching this. So I feel like you didn't get into it until 15 minutes before the reunion is because you already knew that you acted stupidly.
But do you think, too, and so, and we'll dive more, obviously, into the other parts, but before we even get there, I've seen people online saying that, like, maybe Bren has those type of friends around her who are like, you're the star of the show, you're the one that caused all the drama, you're the one that did this, and then it's like, now she's kind of getting, like, gut punch checked, where it's like, yeah, you did all that, but it wasn't, like, good. Like, it wasn't entertaining. Like, it didn't feel authentic. Like all of those things. And so maybe, like you said, she's kind of having, like, a little bit of a hard realization to, like, understand that point.
I can see that. I can see her, and not even just having friends. I think just from the fact that she was such a fan favorite last season, she probably had a lot of people, just tweeting her and loving her. And then, at, like, BravoCon, everybody was, like, loving her. So I just feel like she thought that maybe she was hotter shit than she was. And she was, again, going into the season looking to have a moment and make, like we've talked about before, that these people, come in and they, like, have to keep topping themselves and topping themselves and topping themselves. And I think that's what we saw. And I think it was just, like, it just fell flat. Because it's, like, it just, like you said, there was just no authenticity there. It's just, like... what are you doing?
Do you feel like at the beginning of the reunion, when, even before they went on stage, when Bren went into Jessel's, dressing room, mm-hmm. Jessel could have maybe given her a little bit of a heads up?
No, because I think she knew exactly what she was doing, and that's why I think she did it. I think she went to Jessel to feel her out, to feel if Jessel was upset about that. That's why she did that.
Okay.
Because that's what she was looking for. She was looking for the heads up, is what she was looking for.
Yes. Okay.
And Jessel didn't give it to her.
Not
which, by the way, cheers to you, Jessel, because as I've said 101 times, you're the only one that really exudes potential to actually be a Real Housewife.
Yes. 1,000%. Yeah. I agree. You're
well,
right.
we've seen, I don't know if we've discussed this on the pod, but, it's all out there that they are casting for the Real Housewives of New York.
We did see that.
So that means that somebody's job or somebody's, plural, jobs are on the chopping block.
So I think that you and I did make some predictions the last time we talked about New York on the pod. But if we're being honest right now, if I'm looking at the cast after this reunion episode, I don't mind if everybody but Bryn comes back.
Damn. Bye-bye, Bryn.
I know. I feel bad to say that.
Bryn,
but I mean,
you ain't got no friends.
even Jessel got activated, right?
Jessel did get activated. And Jessel, you looked good. The bob was bobbing. The face
Jenna
looked
even got
refreshed.
activated.
Jenna even got activated. Can we talk about that bathrobe? How'd you feel about that?
You know,
Iconic or not?
I was 60-40 on it. Like, actually, I think it would be more iconic if she wore the robe, they went on lunch break, and then she came back in another outfit. That's iconic.
It would have been, but they wouldn't have let her done it because of the editing for the trailer and whatnot.
Oh, no, they would have just had to leave all her first parts in. They wouldn't have been able to show her in the second part at all. Yeah.
Which would have been hard.
It would have been hard, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But that would have been iconic if she didn't.
Iconic. So I would have liked that, actually. But the bathrobe was a choice. I mean, you know, she was like, I did jeans the first time. Like, where do I go from here?
So if you're back on the third season, Jenna, where do you go from there?
Naked.
Naked? Do you go naked?
Yeah. You should wear one of those, like, sensor things over you.
No, I feel like she would go... she's not really like a Skims girl. So I'm saying she just did like a Skims bodysuit. Like a nude bodysuit, you know.
She has to go... She'd have to keep pushing it again.
She would have to keep pushing it.
Yeah.
Gosh, how do you do that? Ooh, wedding gown.
A wedding gown.
A
A wedding
gown.
suit.
A wedding suit.
Like a white suit. Like a men's white suit.
Yes. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, well, we'll be looking to see if Jenna makes it back.
I mean, I feel like she might come back now, right?
I mean, like I said, I would watch everybody, but I'm just over...
I mean, if you really wanted a fresh start too, you would let Uba go too. Honestly.
I would let Uba, Bryn, and Rebecca go, and I would get...
Really? I think Rebecca has an interesting storyline if it can be fleshed out more. So I think, like the other girls, she deserves at least one more season to see what we can do there.
I didn't realize she was only a friend of...
No, she's a full cast member.
Then why didn't they bring her... Oh, why wasn't she... She remember.
Are we talking about Rebecca or...
Rebecca.
Oh, I'm thinking about the other new girl. Raquel. Sorry.
Yeah. Raquel's the full
No,
time.
I like her.
Raquel, do you?
I don't know. Rebecca, I'm not... I don't hate, I don't love. She could go either way. You're right.
She looks like a drowned rat in that clip that they showed of her for part 2.
I know.
Like, girl.
And she's supposed to be like having like a fashion brand.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows about Rebecca Minkoff.
Yeah.
That's about how I feel too.
Yeah, so not super impressed. I think part 1 of the reunion was good. What do you think?
It was really good. It was good to see them coming out of the gate getting activated. I think it was really interesting the way they edited a lot of it. I think it was super interesting in the moment where Jenna was talking about how expensive the bathrobe was.
Yeah.
And then Bryn was like, $1,500. My dress was $7,000. And I actually bought it. Yeah. Like, girl.
But that's the thing is, some of these new girls on these shows think that's a flex. Why would you spend $7,000 on something you're only going to wear once? You can never wear it again, not on television. And if you wear it in person... If you wear it in person, they're going to read you for it. So,
but the thing about it was, it really wasn't that cute of a gown. I spent $7,000 on that.
No, I'd rent it, return it, and keep it moving. Yeah, no, not. I don't think it was a smart business investment, but that's just my interpretation of it.
My humble opinion.
Yeah, so New York, good first reunion. We'll be staying tuned for part 2 to see what y'all bring. But let's just move on right along to Salt Lake City reunion part 2, which was a little more interesting, I think.
A lot more interesting.
We definitely had a lot more moving parts. I think, obviously, for me, the standout part of this reunion was the moonwalk that Bronwyn was doing. talking about everything that happened on the show with her and Todd and the infidelity and all of that.
So what is your opinion on that?
Oh, I mean, I think it was obvious. I think when Bronwyn was talking about it and Andy was asking questions, Todd literally was hearing it for the first time. Todd he did not watch the show. He did not know that Bronwyn talked about his infidelity on the show. He didn't know any of this. So him hearing it was first time. And I think Todd was shocked. I think Todd's smart. He totally has a great poker face and was able to pick it back up quick and lean into it and kind of segue past it. But I know that I could tell he was pissed. You just see that face in somebody where they're like, why the fuck would you say that? Mm-hmm. That's what he was giving. And
because it did feel like she was completely backtracking.
I mean, to be honest, I love Bronwyn, but all she's done this reunion is backtrack.
She kind of has backtracked and deflected from everything she was standing on business on.
The necklace, now the affair, it's just so many things. The thing with about her daughter's dad, everything just seems to now have such a different story than it originally did. And I don't know if now you're watching it back and you're like, oh, I wish this had happened or this had happened or this had happened. Or if you're feeling pressure from your family, your partner, whatever it is, it definitely feels like a deflection, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I don't know I don't know. I mean, it's not a great look for Bronwyn. It's definitely not a great look for her. I feel bad because I think that what we heard the first time was actually the truth.
I agree. I absolutely agree that what we heard the first time was the truth, and she now has to backtrack in order to salvage her marriage.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So now we're hearing a limited version of the truth.
A censored version.
Censored version of it.
I will say I'm also super surprised that Todd even came to the reunion.
Really?
Uh-huh. I didn't think he would have done that.
I think he's supportive of Bronwyn and what she wants to do. So,
clearly.
Yeah. I think that him showing up to the reunion is him being supportive of her. I don't think he cares either way anything about this show, whether she stays on it, doesn't, this, that, or the other. He's just like, I'm here to support you, and that's it. I did think, too, the Meredith Marks and Angie feud is just, again, it's just so weird and interesting, especially, for me, I think it's funny that, somebody with that podcast is at the center of this drama between them.
You know how that is.
Mm-hmm. So, especially because it's really over nothing. Let's be honest, it's really over nothing. But I was glad to see Meredith activated, actually, and not just sitting there in her chair.
No, so let me tell you, when Meredith got up to storm out of the reunion, I was like, Meredith, sit down. Sit all the way down. Sit down in your chair. I don't know. Meredith is just giving nothing for me. I don't understand how I need Meredith to be getting her walking papers this season, because, girl.
So you think this is it?
It needs to be.
Yeah. I could kind of see it, and I wouldn't be mad about it. And, I mean, I even think Meredith could do, a couple years off and come back. I don't think it's a forever goodbye. Uh-huh. I don't think so.
I think she should do a couple years off and then come back.
Yeah.
Divorce Seth and then come back and be a little bit more interesting. Do you think the show that her son is doing is going to do well on Bravo?
I'm interested to see that. They haven't released anything yet.
Nothing.
So, I was talking about this with somebody the other day. So if you're looking at kind of the Bravo slate of programming, they're about to film the Southern Charm and Southern Hospitality reunion. Mm-hmm. Okay. They have a new season of some Below Deck show coming out. Obviously, they have RHOA and Summer House. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing The Valley and, obviously this new show is probably going to come into play because you're going to have a lot of...
Completely forgot about The Valley.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of holes in your schedule, right? You're getting rid of... Beverly Hills is just released as mid-season. Potomac's wrapping up. New York's wrapping up. Salt Lake City's wrapping up. So, that's 3 shows right there. So, yeah, you're going to have a hole in your schedule. Married to Medicine's about to film their reunion on February 12th. So, yeah.
Married to Medicine has not disappointed. The rest of the season looks so good. I'm so
Looks
ready for
so
the rest of it.
Good.
Married to Medicine is crushing it.
I'm excited to see what led to Phaedra leaving.
Oh no, and that's supposed to happen in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
In the next 2 episodes, I
Yeah.
think.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be exciting to see. Maybe they'll give us a little more context on how things were with her when she came over to the ATL.
Oh yeah, I think it'll definitely put things in context for us.
But yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how these new shows, if and when they premiere, and how they're gonna kind of drop them into the schedule based on a lot of these other shows leaving. So
I know, because we're gonna be without Housewives for a while, aren't we?
well, no, because I think the way it's set up.
Oh,
is,
you're right. Atlanta's coming back March 9th.
Yeah.
So yeah, Beverly Hills will still be on.
And Beverly Hills will still be on, yeah. So you'll have two Housewives shows on, and I'm thinking Miami's probably going to come out.
Got to be coming
pretty soon after. Yeah.
I think I'm kind of excited for Miami. I'm so sad that Nicole left, though.
I know.
I love Nicole.
I know, but she did what was best for her and her family, which is totally understandable. So you can't be mad about that. But yeah, no. So jumping into the next part of the reunion is obviously when Mary was talking about her son, and everybody but Meredith was crying, which was also very interesting. I mean, she was like the only one showing no emotion. Why do you think that was?
She's a stoic bitch. No. I don't know. She just honestly always seems slightly drugged to me.
Is that like she's on permanent Valium or something?
Literally.
And it's funny because she says she doesn't do that.
I just don't believe her.
You don't believe her?
I don't believe her, especially when you look back seasons 1 through 4. She just always seemed to me, this is the first season where she seemed the least like she was on something. But to me, she just always seems like she's on something, so it's interesting.
Yeah. What did you think about Andy actually crying, hearing Mary tell her story and everything?
That was so touching. I was like, have we ever seen Andy cry
I don't think so, right?
That was such a moment.
You could tell that it really touched him. Maybe because now he's a father. And
maybe now that he's a father, all of the years of people insinuating he does drugs himself.
Yeah.
It was interesting to.
Well, he definitely does drugs. I just don't know how much. How many drugs and how much. So,
Allegedly, he does drugs.
Oh no, not allegedly. I've literally seen him, so I'm not making that up. That was POV first person.
Oh my god, you saw Andy doing drugs.
Oh my god, I thought I told you that.
No.
Back in the day.
Bitch,
oh my god.
Where was this?
Okay.
Oh wait, is this the event where that little black boy was all over him? You was telling me about?
No, this is something else. Okay, this is a 2-second story. Let me get into it really quick. So it was in 2015, and he was in town filming one of the RHOA reunions. And after he left the reunion, he went to Swinging Richards. And I happened to be there with some friends in the VIP, and he was in the VIP. And he just did him a little bump, and was smoking him a cigarette, and. I was trying to get his attention, but he was totally look, bitch, I'm decompressing. I've had a day. Let me decompress. So, I didn't push it. I was like, okay, I got you, So, he's just living his best life, chilling. And then, I saw him leave to go jump in his Uber with 2 of the cute dancers from Swinging Richards.
Oh, wow.
I know. I was like, damn, I should have.
Well, everybody knows the Swinging Richards boys are for hire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
90% of them were straight.
No, they're not. They say they are, but they're not.
No, I literally think 90% of them were straight. You don't think so?
That's what they say they are.
But I did know some that
I
dated
can't tell
a
you
girl
how
of
many.
mine.
I can't tell you. I had a friend who dated a guy who worked at Swinging Richards. So we would hang out at Swinging Richards regularly. Because we could get free drinks and stuff. So we would literally be there, and I cannot tell you how many times that the guys that they would be like, "Oh, we're straight," would hit on me at some point, and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, me and you and Patrick went there before.
But I'm just saying, I know that they're not. Okay. I know that they're not. I know another Mama D used to date a guy who worked at Swinging Richards.
Really?
Season 1 of the show, yeah, and he was straight, and then I found out he was also selling his dick to men's booty holes.
Wow.
So I mean, they're all straight or gay for pay.
Gay for pay, yeah. No, that definitely makes more sense for sure. And then, yeah, I mean, the reunion kind of just finished out with the guys kind of talking about their various issues and such, and just touching on, like, Mary talking about, like, how she's so excited to have found a friend in Angie, and she feels like that kind of, like, shaped her this season to be a little more activated or engaged or whatever you want to call it. Which you could tell it bothered Meredith a little bit to hear that because they've been long-term friends, obviously.
At least so Meredith thought.
Yeah. But I thought it was nice to hear Mary's point of view on that, right? What did you think?
I think that I understood where she was coming from. She just has a real connection with Angie that's, I feel like, outside of television, where I don't think hers with Meredith is. And I think that's what it was, that there's nothing wrong with my friendship with Meredith, but Meredith is like my work friend. And as long as we work together, she's the nicest person that I've worked with, until I've built a real friendship now with Angie. And I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I think it was a good second part of the reunion. There's one more part coming up. Obviously, the husbands are going to leave. Brittany's going to come on stage, which I'm sure will be interesting. Supposedly, they are already gearing up to start filming season 6 very soon. They did have a casting announcement out for a potential new friend to join the show. But yeah, what do you think season 6 of Salt Lake's gonna look like?
I don't know, but I see that Jen Shaw might be coming out in 2026. So what does season 7 of Salt look like? That's what I want to know.
Do you think it's still too early for Monica to come back, or do you think that's a possibility?
I think it's still a possibility. I think we might get a Monica and a Jen Shaw season. That's what I'm hoping for.
Not season 6, though. You don't think?
No.
You think that's still too early for Monica?
Still too early.
Okay.
I think we're going to probably get the majority of the same cast next season, and then I think season 7 will be our shakeup.
Okay.
So, I don't know, but Meredith, your job's on the chopping block. I can tell you that because you're boring.
You think
So are you, Whitney.
Do you think she's going to make it?
No, her and Whitney are both going to go.
No, I'm talking about this next iteration. Do you think they'll be back for 6, though?
Yeah, I think everybody's going to come back for 6. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're going to get the same exact cast for 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because they've struggled for a while, so I think they'll keep the same cast for 6.
Gotcha.
They might introduce another friend but I think for the most part we're going to keep the same cast.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting to see.
We didn't touch on Beverly Hills this week because, honestly, it was kind of boring. Just in my opinion. Nothing really exciting. They saw, Garcelle's beach house, and, Jennifer Tilly's still rich, and Kyle and Dorita still talking about that text message, and,
it was giving nothing. It was giving nothing this week.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. So, I don't think there's any need to touch on that. And then, obviously, Potomac is having their finale air. So by the time you guys hear this will already be out. And then they'll be gearing up for the reunion, which the reunion trailer looked very spicy.
It looked so good. Like, I'm so ready for the reunion.
Really excited.
I want to know what Karen's going to say.
Yeah.
I want to know what Eddie had to say about TJ.
Yes.
Bring Eddie out.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm going to go home tonight and watch the season finale.
Yes.
And child, get ready.
So. Yes, me too. And we are actually going to take a couple of weeks off here at Cue the Chaos while we get ready for our next season. So the next time we see y'all, we will be ready for our next iteration of what we have to bring. So it'll be guess we'll call it maybe season 2 by that point. I'm sure we'll have some little updates and pop-ups over the next couple of weeks to talk about. If anything interesting obviously comes across us that we want to hop on the pod and jump on and talk about, we will. But, you'll just bear with us while we get ready for a revamped and ultra fresh season 2 of Cue the Chaos, right, Alex?
Season 2! Get ready for those visuals!
Yes, so we're super excited. If you're not already following us on our social media platforms, we do have a TikTok page you can follow us on. It is Cue the Chaos Pod. And we are on YouTube at Cue the Chaos.
Cue the Chaos.
So feel free to follow us there. We'll try to drop some updates for y'all there.
Sorry, y'all. That was my phone.
And in the meantime, feel free to go back and listen to old episodes. Maybe catch up on old episodes of You, Me, and My Ex.
Real Housewives of
Catch
Atlanta.
up on old episodes of Atlanta. Just get ready for us.
Just get ready, because we're getting ready for y'all.
So we'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Continue to spill some tea, sip some tea, and cue
the chaos. We out.